Good afternoon, crafters, and welcome to P2PCrafts Presents, brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercraft shows. Now, I'm your host, Michelle, Creative Director over at From Picture to Page, which is our scrapbooking, mixed media art and papercrafts community. Now, P2PCrafts presents a whole heap of demonstrations and chats with our talented retailers and some guest artists. So for all the details and to catch up on the replays in Season 1 and Season 2, head over to our website from picturetopageandbeyond.com.au, where you can see all the replays, get all the links and get in touch with the retailers so you can continue to support them in these challenging times. Now, while you're over on the website, make sure you sign up to our email list so we can send you a summary at the end of each week so you can see who's been on, as well as all the announcements regarding Season 3, because we'll be coming back again really soon. Now, whether you're watching us here live on Facebook or whether you're watching a replay on Facebook or on YouTube, we want to know that you're there. So pop in the comments and say hello and make sure you ask us any questions as we go along. Now, today, P2PCrafts presents Michelle at Snazzi Scrappin. Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. How are you going?
I'm well. I'm so excited to have you here today and Snazzi Scrappin. So how is it where you are today?
Very sunny outside. Yeah, beautiful day. We've had rain last week, but cleared up about Wednesday, and yeah, it's been beautiful the last 2 days.
Oh,
yep.
Excellent. Now, you are fairly new to the Picture to Page family, so why don't you tell us a little bit about where you are and about Snazzi Scrappin?
So we're in Dubbo, and I started the shop 15 years ago. I'd been a music teacher a high school music teacher for 15 years and always decided that I would probably be in retail at some time in my life. It was a little personal joke that I wanted to leave teaching and work at Target. Anyway, hubby sold one of his wheat harvesters, and said, would you like the money to do your shop?
Oh,
and
lovely.
No, it was really nice. And so I just went on a year's leave without pay, thinking that I'd do it for a year. And that was 15 years ago. I have been back.
15 years ago. That's amazing.
So I have been back in between doing a bit of teaching now and again and everything like that. But lately it's the teaching's out at the moment. But with the new website, I'm busy enough.
Yeah, excellent. And so what type of products do you tend to stock?
Well, for a long time I was an on-seller, so I just kept mainly card making. Even though it was Snazzi Scrappin, I've always I was a scrapbooker to start with, but became a card maker. So just to use up my scraps to start with. But I had over the years I've had a few good card making teachers that were in the bricks and mortar store that I had before I moved it to the house, which was 5 years yesterday. But I then had a lady come to the shop, Janine, and do mixed media classes. I hate mess. Everybody will laugh at that, but I just hate the sprays and everything like that. But over the years I've stocked a lot of darkroom door products with Rachel, and I buy all my Ranger through her. So I've always stocked the distress inks and the oxides now and things like that, the minis and that type of stuff. I've always stocked a lot of dyes. So I mainly had Memory Box to start with. They were a few spellbinders, but mainly Memory Box. I dealt with them direct and that. But I also carry chipboard, scrap mats. So you've had Sophie on your show, and I carry a lot of their stencils and chipboard. And I've got a few other little, Alison from Green Tara. She was the first wholesaler that walked into my little store.
Okay.
So I had a smaller store before going to a bigger one. And I'm still support Alison all the time, and she's my main flower person. I'm sort of one of these people that once I get somebody good, I stick with them, and I do a little bit of there's a lady from Tamworth. We're just talking about Tamworth, you and I, and that's Green Frog Creation. So I stock her stuff as well. But I'm sort of set in my ways that, once I get something that's good, I don't like customers that complain to me about products. So if I get a product, because I started doing my own stuff years ago, so if I get something that's not that good, I won't sell it. I'll just give it as a freebie. I sort of say, it doesn't emboss quite well down one side or something like that. And, but mostly I haven't had a lot of issues with product quality. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy at the moment. Yeah.
Excellent. And you said you started having your own range of products. Tell us a bit about that.
So my sister, who is a graphic designer in Adelaide, she has always done my logo and everything like that. Our whole family, my dad was really crafty. We were always doing something hands-on. He always had the spirograph. People would probably...
I love the spirograph.
He was an industrial arts teacher, so he did tech drawing, and he had this thing that you had to, do the perfect five-pointed star. Mm-hmm. So I'm a very good line drawer, but I'm really an artist. I can draw, like hand draw things, but I'm better line drawer. So as I went on to be a music teacher, my sister became a graphic designer. And when I first did the shop, I actually scrapped the original logo, not the one you've got there. It's on my business cards. I scrapped it, and then she drew it on the computer. Oh. So I took it over to her, and so that was sort of anything that we do. She does all the computer work. But last year I was doing a show in Mildura, and I said, why don't you come meet us there and do the show? You can do the show with me, and the boys can go and check out the breweries. And so we had 3 lovely days there with her and her partner, Martin, or husband. Anyway, people were saying, have you got this dye? Have you got that dye? I can't get this dye. And she said to me that night, we were just sitting around the campfire thing we had, and she said, I can draw anything you want. She said, I can draw anything you want. Just get your rep in at the manufacturers to email me what type of drawing I did. So I just gave her a list of things, and she drew them all up. First of all, we had a couple of problems because when you look at a picture, you don't sort of picture it as a die. Like you've got to be very particular that the lines aren't too close together, so you don't get little thin lines that won't come out of the die and all stuff like that. And then I did a show with my hubby last year, your show at Picture Page in Sandown, and we had quite a few ladies asking us, did I have Australian car, any Australian cars, and I was stocking Rachel's car set, but they were sort of Americanised. And he said to me, we should look at doing some stamps. And I said, I'm sort of one of these that once I do something, I'm happy to just sit there, not sort of keep on going. Anyway, he said, no. And so I said to Kim, what about doing, a couple of cars? And so we did that. So we've got 4 main cars now, but I've got 2 new ones out that have just come this week. So we're going to show them today. The stamp process, making a stamp is a lot harder than making a die. Oh, okay. The picture that you need for it is more difficult, and I need to buy in bigger volumes. So while I get a lot of customers say, can you do this one, can you do that one, and my own son who wants a Nissan SX 180, and I said I've got to be able to, if I get 5 people ask me for the same product, I will look at making it. But if it's less than 5, and don't get 5 of your friends to contact.
I was going to say, you'll have to get your son to start a campaign on Picture to Page. Who else wants a Nissan?
Everyone that asks me, well, that's what my son's is, Nissan as well. Everyone that asks me for something, I note it down. Mm-hmm. And so the other week in my little VIP group, I asked what type of dies that people were looking for, and one lady said a medical set, and one lady said a music set, and there was quite a few others. Well, I sat down the next day and drew the medical set and the nursing set. So I don't mind drawing things up when I have time, and then I give them to my sister as a hand-drawn thing, and she turns it into the computer version that we need. But I've just started paper.
Excellent. That must be quite different.
Well, it is. It's a lot more time consuming. It probably took me 50 hours for each range. Like you buy the graphics package, but then you have to put it together. It's not just, oh, this falls into place or that falls into place. You have to put it together. But I chose to do it in A4. People said, why didn't you do it in 12 by 12? I had programs on my computer that I could do it in A4, and if I wanted to do it in 12 by 12, I had to give it to my sister to do. She's not a scrapbooker. She doesn't. Well, she would understand. I could, but it was hours and hours of work, and she actually has a full-time job. So the amount of work I give her already, I didn't want to do that. And I could design these at home and then just send them to her to get printed. And so that's what I did. And the first 2 ranges have gone really well. They came out weeks ago, but I've got 3 new ranges that I'm going to show today. I haven't had time to do samples. I'm really sorry. I've got samples of the others that I've got 3 girls. I call them my design team. It sort of was a mistake because I've known for years. She would send me messages late at night saying she'd made this, that. I should be buying the blending brushes 12 months before anybody had them. She just, all these things, she's on top of the game all the time. She knows what's coming out, everything. So she was the first person in January I contacted and said, would you mind doing me some samples, because I'm so busy packaging everything. I run out of time to do anything. And then Hayley was at a show this year. I've known Hayley for years. She was a customer that used to come to the shop when I had it in Bolt Street. And from Millthorpe, got her own little knick-knack chaos. And Hayley said, I'll do you some samples. And so she'd sent me some samples, and in the end I said, look, do you want to be one of my members? She's got really good knowledge of website too, so she gave me a lot of feedback on the website, what I needed to do. Some of it I worked out I'm not that great at that. Then Anne-Marie had a shop in Canberra, so a lot of people would know her. She has Facebook page Crafty, and she came to me earlier in the year and asked me to get some bow dies in for her. She would send me photos and everything like that, and I said, look, do you want to do some samples? So I've just kept with those 3 girls, and I send them all the paper, the new ranges. They get every product that I bring out in the stamp and dies and the paper, and then I don't pressure them. All I ask them to do is a few things for today, and they all sent me heaps of things to choose from. So they're great like that, but we're sort of a little bit laid back. I put things up on the blog, but I don't pressure. I want it to be an enjoyable experience for them, not to be pressure, because I know what I'm like under pressure too.
Excellent. So Michelle, what have you got to share with us today?
Okay, so I'll swap over to the other screen, and then
we'll get going. Excellent. So while Michelle's getting herself set up, thank you so much all for joining us, and for all of those Snazzi Scrapping fans and followers, hello and welcome to From Picture to Page. We're really excited to have you here supporting us, and Michelle as well. So it looks like she's ready, so I'll hand the camera over to Michelle. Michelle, take it away.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. So these were our 2 first I'm very nervous.
No need.
HO and the Tirana SLR 5000. So hubby chose these 2 cars because he had one of these when he was younger, and a Tirana, but not this version. But I'm not really a car person. My husband and son are, and he thought they were sort of probably 2 iconic cars that we would have. So they've both got the dies in them as well. So then we had a lot of people ask. So the next 2 we brought out was our V-Dub and our Mini, and they've both been very, very popular. The V-Dub especially, I suppose people that lived in the Herbie era love that type of car, and they've got the dies, of course, as well. Little story, how we're talking about manufacturing and everything, Michelle. when they first did these dies, they did them around the wrong way. They didn't mirror them. So I've now got 200 dies that are the wrong way round.
Oh dear.
After I sell these ones, I'll get the stamps made mirrored. So then I have another 200 of each that I'll be able to use then. Here's our two new ones.
Ooh.
We have the HK Ute and the HQ panel band. And I had a lot of, I'll just show you how they stamp and die cut out. So I managed to get that done Thursday. So I had a lot of people ask for both these two designs, and of course they've got the dies in them as well. A little bit thicker the dies this time. The other ones are fine, but the manufacturer that I've got, I'm really impressing on him about quality. And these stamps stamped beautifully, so I'm really happy with them. So Hayley she made these. I don't have any samples with those new ones. They're up on the website now, though. Mm-hmm. It's the one she made with our bricks embossing folder and the GTHO. And she also made this shaker card. I don't know whether you can see that.
Yes.
I do have some shaker mixes coming, but I've got all the shaker mixes, but I haven't got the containers that they go in. So I'm waiting for those, and then they'll be putting up. So that's just very easy. That one will go on the blog with the instructions, so as well in the next week or so. I've kept that for today, so I didn't use that. Now, also we've got in to go with our cars. The very talented Nick is an expert on light up cards.
Ooh.
We have made, Dave and I. Have you ever done card making with your husband, Michelle?
Oh, look, I must say he does like to offer suggestions, and I suggest that he's more than welcome to make his own if he has some suggestions.
This afternoon, I can tell you, there was a lot of work going on and there was a lot of frustration. But this was our little circuit we made. Mm-hmm. With the help of Nick. She was really good. So we've made the little circuit so our lights go on. And then we've done the instructions. So you can press it and your lights go on. We've done the instructions full colour and full step by step. So Nick had done this one for me with the feeder. How cute is that?
That is just adorable.
And then she's done this one as well. So and it's got the lamp in it.
Yeah, what a great idea.
Yeah, so it wasn't hard at all. You just had to make sure that you had the little flap for your battery and you've got your copper tape that connects to the battery, right? And then you sketch it out, put your lights down, and I've told the short ones negative, and you just make sure that the foam tape, you've got a housing around that so the battery doesn't fly away. And then you put the foam tape and then peel it off and put that on the top of your card. Yeah. So if you can see that card, Nick's done it with your double-sided foam, sort of cut hers out. I used the foam tape only because I didn't have that double-sided foam. So it's done that and then cut the centre out of it. Yeah, very easy. Now, the next part is I wanted to show you some things that the other girls have done that are different to do with your dies. So these are a couple of our bow dies. So Anne-Marie is very talented and she makes hair bows.
Oh, they are so cute.
Yeah, so she's actually put the material onto just plain felt and then made the bow up, and she cuts leather and material, lots of things out of the dies, as well as Coke cans. So I'll be putting that up. She made a card with our hat and boot stamp in a Coke can.
So a thin shimmer, a thin metal will still cut through the die.
And she stamped straight onto the shimmer as well. So, and this one she's got like a glitter material, and then she's put it onto whatever it is. I think it's like a felt, and then made the thing. So that's one thing that we've done. And then Nicole Nicole's always sending me ideas. So she makes stamps out of her dies.
Ah.
This thin foam on it, I know you can buy it at various craft stores. I don't sell it because the reject shops sell it. But she made a stamp out of this. Out of this one here. She just cut it out. And then what she does is she peels the back off and she sort of rubs it against something to take away all the sticky off it.
Right.
Not quite all. And then puts it on her acrylic block and then uses it as a stamp.
Oh, how clever.
Yeah, so she's done that, and I'll just put this is one that she's made out of our little inappropriate, yes, see that? And so she's got the little poop there. I'll just show you here. I won't put the rude words up there. There are a thing, but we've got the little poop and you get a die with it. So she cut the die out and made a stamp, and then she stamped all for the background on the card. How cute is that? Yeah. This one was inspired by my son because he thought that was quite funny. But anyway, that's actually our best-selling stamp set, Michelle.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
I know it's not for everyone, but, yeah, a lot of people loved that stamp set. So I've got another one in mind. Anyway, so this was the first paper range that I did. So this is Bohemian Dream. So on the front, it actually shows you each one of these is A4 sheet. So there's background papers, and then you get a selection of sheets. These are designed for quick cards. So you can just cut that straight out and put it on the front of a card. I've also got background ones in it and just patterned papers as well. So the girls have been very busy. Anne-Marie actually used the teeny bow that we've got as well to do that one. Yeah. This one's one of Nick's. Nick always sends hers and she's got instructions. Hayley emails me all the instructions.
Oh, you've got some good girls there.
Another one from Nick. This one, if you bought the kit, you got the feather die in it. So she's done that one as well. And this one, I actually sat down upside down, one weekend, and I did that one. And then Anne-Marie did this one. This is a nice stand-up one. So for anybody that loves unicorns, it stands up like that. And then I did this. I haven't scrapbooked for years since Sophie's I go to her scrap mats retreat. So I did this page showing that you can do a scrapbook page with A4 paper. So that's my little great niece, and I bought her that unicorn mask. So when I did this paper, I thought that's exactly the photo that I'm going to use. And I've used some scrap mats chipboard there, and then the green Tara flowers, which I absolutely love. Alison's flowers. She does very well sourcing different flowers from other places. So this was the second range that I had, and I actually thought of this one. Dave and I went to Tasmania last year, Top Caravan, and I took these photos at Port Arthur. So I always thought that I was going to do purple and green in some type of It's the same. I put card fronts. Yep, they're ideal for card fronts. So just cut out straight on the front of the card. Lots of sentiments in there for you to use. The girls have made me this one using our diamond background die. I actually made that one myself. Nick's made this one, and I've made this card. You're in the same card making group as me, I think. Card making in Australia and New Zealand. It's a great group, and there's a lady in there called Sharon Gutzel, I think it is, and Sharon shows everybody how to make this card out of little strips. Great card that I've ever seen to make out of little strips, because you all end up with those, those 1 centimetre strips that you can't use. So I don't throw anything out. So my 3 new ranges Haven't made anything with them, but this is my sea adventure.
Oh.
Yeah, so this one has some frames. It has your sentiment sheet, lots of fussy cuts, and that I'm not into fussy cuts, but I know people that are. And in this range, I did a lot more background sheets. There's some double-sided in there, some darker colours. After using the Bohemian range, while I liked it, I had to add extra basil, like your darker colour, because I like to have that contrast. So my sister said, look, they'll print it double-sided anyway, so I decided to put a few darker colours in there so there was a bit of a contrast. So you get a bonus, and on the back of this one, I think, I've made sure that on the back of the front there is also something that you can use.
Oh, excellent.
I made sure that on the back of one of the others I put an extra sentiment sheet. So you actually get 2 sentiment sheets in that one so that you get plenty to use. Now, the next one, I like to send a little gift with my orders. So I made this little tea bag thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I actually designed that paper and got it printed specially for these tea bag things. And I had quite a few customers contact me and say, where do we get that paper from? And I decided to do a range that was just for card makers. So this is the Blue Meadow range that I did. So this one, it's got less paper in it. It's cheaper, of course. And the paper is all 250 GSM. That was the main reason I wanted to do paper was I stocked quite a few ranges, but their paper's quite flimsy, like 200 GSM. And I just felt, that you would probably remember, what was the one called? My Mind's Eye. Mm-hmm. And how nice and thick it was and everything. I really enjoyed that. So I wanted to do something that was good quality, that was nice and thick and would work really well. And so this is what I've chosen. So some of these, the ones down the bottom are double-sided, the things, and then you've got the frames and a sentiment sheet with that one. So our last range, new range, this one I love because it's getting that time, Christmas in July. My classic Christmas range. And I've got, again, the sentiments which I've stuck to, which I love. And then I've got some double-sided, so that's sort of presents with your craft looking. And then I've got quite a few frames and things as well, fussy cuts in that one as well. So I'm really happy with them. I honestly don't care if they don't sell because I'll just use. I'm actually going to give away 2 of those, the garden ones, and 20 of my number 1 dad stamp sets on our Facebook page tomorrow. My friend Deb that I went to school with, she designed these stamp sets for me. She's a photographer. So these are actually her husband's boots. And so she's photographed them and then put them onto the computer and then sent them to my sister, and she's turned them into what she needed to. So Nick's made this one for me and Hayley's made these ones. But this stamp and boot set's been really, really popular because anybody that's married to a man that does quite a bit of work would have a pair of those boots out the back probably. So, so tomorrow I'm going to put a little thing on our Facebook page and you can go in the draw to win one of 20 of those sets. So look out for that.
Oh, lovely.
Now, my little tea bag thing, I'll just show you here. So I've been making these for years. I don't even know when I started. So I decided to make a die of it. So I that's the die that I got made. I've used it quite a bit. And then I used to use a punch for these, and I got it made as a set. So you just run it through and it actually does the fold marks. Now it's this
Oh, it
easy.
does the scoring as well. That's fantastic.
The scoring. So it's just like that, and then you fold it together like that. So it's like that, and then it's just a score line there and a score line there, and it's together. And then I always rabbit ear my bunny. I tell the kids at school it's a loop, and the bunny ears go through the loop. Yeah, and then you just stick your little sentiment on the front. That one I've printed off the computer, but you can stamp something, and then it's designed perfectly to fit those Twinings tea bags in them.
Oh my goodness. Again, when you see something being done, it's always, simple. You just need a few techniques and off you go.
Yeah, so some of my dies do have score marks and embossing marks and everything on them. So, so that one I do with that die, I do send an instruction sheet for it as well, because just so you know how to fold it. Mm-hmm. It is so easy to do. It's like a 2-second job. So I did about 100 to send out as a little thank you. I send them the instructions as well. So because it's a cheap present to do if you just want to thank somebody for something. Yeah. And then I've just done 50 for the local breast cancer charity, and I did a little thing with sending you strength on the front.
Oh,
and
lovely.
They make up care packages for women with breast cancer. So it was just something, when I used to have the shop, I'd make them little bookmarks and things, but I don't do that anymore. Now, I'm nearly through. This is another little stamp set that I did. This was one that you could piece together. So congratulations to my granddaughter, or amazing granddaughter, and I've also put goddaughter and daughter and niece and sister on there, and you've got beautiful as well. So you get the sentiments. This one Anne-Marie made, and she's used it with the Garden Affair range, and then this one Nicole's made, and she's used that with our background lattice die as well, and she's embossed it with the WOW. Have you used WOW embossing powder?
I know of it. I haven't used it though.
Michelle, if you used WOW, you would never use anything else. You don't need a pillow because it's anti-static. So none of your bits and pieces will go everywhere. It's fantastic. So it's my go-to. You can do really fine stamping and embossing with it. So these are a few of our Australiana range. Now, you asked me before about the Curly Sue. Mm-hmm. So that is a little bit of a secret, but it is my third daughter's nickname.
Right.
Her middle name is Susan, and she's got massively curly hair. When we were looking for something, we actually Googled all these names to die for and all these different things, but they all came up. And then I just went to bed that night thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I just decided through the night I'll call it her, because she used to come to the shop with me when she was 10 years old to do the nighttime classes and virtually run the shop. She went on to do a Bachelor of Business. So she could use that cash register better than any adult. A lot of these are great. As you know, I was talking about the blending brushes before. So Nick told me ages ago to get the blending brushes in. So we do them like in a small, medium and large, and they're quite cheap. The large one retails at $4.50. And these are some that Hayley's done with our Nick's done that one. Hayley's done this one. Nick's done this one. The silhouette seems to be really in at the moment, Michelle.
Yeah.
And it's quite easy because, you've got your blending brushes, and the Distress Oxides blend so beautifully. And then you're just cutting it out with on your black cardstock. Now, you'll see that and you probably think, what is that? Some people don't know what that is because some people don't realise if you just put jack paper on the back of your dies that it makes them thicker.
Oh, it makes life so much better.
So that's like your jack paper in the roll, the toilet roll as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, you just put that on before you cut out and that makes it a sticker and then it will just stick straight down. You don't have to use any glue sticks or especially your fine, intimate ones like this, intricate ones like that, and these ones just stick straight down. So I'm going to show you. Oh, this is another one too. This is our gum leaf die. Now, that's hardly sold at all. And a lady asked me to do it for Book Week. She wanted it the size of a bookmark. And so it was a school teacher friend of mine. So I got it done and a few people would buy it, but hardly anyone. And then Hayley did this sample for me, using it and distressing it and everything and then putting the sentiment. Well, I need to put Hayley on commission because it obviously sells your products if you've got samples there and people can see what they can do with them.
Yeah, and as a crafter yourself, when you can see something, you go, oh, it just triggers a whole heap of other ideas.
It's like that jack paper idea on the back of, your dies. When the first person that said that to me, I thought, oh, how easy is that? Why would I be doing that all the time? Now I use a whole lot of it. Now, our last little one, Nicole's son, Harrison, did this card for me, right? This Happy Birthday Earthling. It's on our blog. He loves space and things like that. And God love him, I said to him how fantastic that serviette was. So I actually designed him this little rocket set of dies. It's a rocket, and then you'll see my sister. I didn't put the Australia on there, but she said, oh, I thought it'd just be nice if I drew Australia on. She changed it a bit. So I actually got this set made for Harrison and sent off to him. So his mum, Nicole, has made this rocket one. I don't think you can really see it, but she's clear embossed over the top.
Oh, okay.
Stress oxides here and spritzed it, as how some people do. Well, I think she flicked it with the white ink first, and then, she's clear embossed over the top. So it actually has like a 3D look on my end, but you probably may not be able to.
The light's just catching it.
Yeah. So Harrison made this. He used this serviette and he sent me some serviettes, and because he said I need to use them to demonstrate. So I don't know whether you've made a serviette card before, have you?
Oh, not for a while.
Yeah, so a lot of people do it with the Mod Podge and everything like that, and but I don't. Okay, so I'm just going to make that. So I always, when I do it, I cut out my mat first like that, so I know that it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got it ready to go on the front of your card. So you just, the fingernails are all bitten off. Put your jack paper straight over the top, and you always use that non-stick mat. Another thing Nick's told me, you know how you stick your scissors get all sticky.
Mm-hmm.
He uses a product called Dissolve It. Have you used that before?
No, I haven't.
In a little spray bottle at Bunnings, and all you do is you just get a piece of paper towel, lay your scissors on it, spritz it. 2 minutes later you go away, wipe your scissors, and they're totally sharp and glue-free. Gets rid. Now, when you get the serviette, so we stock a whole lot of different ranges of serviettes. So I do have quite a few Australiana ones and your Australian flowers that you can use as backgrounds and things like that. Some of them are 2-ply, some of them are 3-ply. So you just have to make sure that you only have that top layer. And I usually just do that just so you make sure. Now, I usually give it a bit of a scrunch for extra texture, and then I just lay it out like that. Make sure you're over the card, and then I just smooth my fingers down like that. So then all you have to do is pick the whole thing up, and it course, on the non-stick mat it won't stick. And then I just trim it on the card so you don't get caught your sticky scissors and that, but you can cut that right there. And then right there. And then one more. Sorry, Michelle.
No, that's okay.
And then you've got it perfect. Sit on your mat for the front of your card, and you just double. Yeah, very quick, very easy. You can make a lot of those in under an hour, and as backgrounds, Christmas cards, things like that. Now, the last two stamp sets I wanted to show you, these were our two farming ones, and that we bought out the header, our harvester, and the wheat, and then the tractor and the wheat. So I'm not going to tell you what our next two ones are in production at the moment, but if you liked these, you are really going to like the next ones. We've got two sets. One's a farming set, one's Australiana.
Right.
But great. I've got an artist friend and she's hand-drawn those.
Oh, fantastic. And do you find the farming equipment's a bit like the cars? You have to have the right ones?
Well, my husband had one of these, and so he is from the land. He was his dad, and that he grew up on a farm. Yeah, but I'm a townie, so we've always lived in town. Yeah, I'm not going to go on a farm, I'm afraid.
Yes, and Em said, thank you so much for the farming range. And I know that she's up in rural Victoria.
Well, I will tell you that the new thing, I'll let it out, it has a wool shed and some silos.
Oh,
so that's
excellent.
Yes. And then the other one.
Oh, we can do our own painted silos.
Yes. Well, it's got silos, and then underneath I've also included a stamp that says the silo trail. Yes. So if
fantastic.
you see the trail,
Yep. And perfect for your scrapbooking of your photos too.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So that's all I've got to show, I think.
Excellent. Okay, I'll give you a minute to pop back to your other computer. Fantastic. So didn't we cover a wide range of topics today? We've gone from farming equipment to Australiana to unicorns to a whole sorts of range of papers, and it's really lovely to get that insight into a company that's doing, so much as well. So excellent, Michelle. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us today.
Thank you, Michelle. No, it's a pleasure.
Excellent. And so all those new releases, are they available now?
Yes, they're all on the website. I've loaded them just before I hopped on today. Mm-hmm. So they're all there. There will be a kit with the Christmas card pack and the Under the Sea, but I just haven't got the photos up there yet. Yeah.
And so with this replay on the Picture to Page website, we'll make sure we've got all the links to the new dies and to the light set and the paper packs as well.
Yep. And I've got the shakers packs coming soon, so they'll be in the card making section and that, but I'll have that up on my Facebook page and Excellent.
And so where can people find more details about your giveaway this weekend?
So that's going to be on my main Facebook page. I'll also post a little thing in the group. I do apologise. I usually run competitions on my Facebook page every week, but you know that my dad passed away last week.
Yeah, we're so sorry. From Picture Page family to yours, we're sorry to hear that.
Look, he was a very crafty person and he loved working in the shop when I went away. So a lot of my customers knew him personally. So I got lots of well wishes, and I'd love to thank the people that sent sympathy cards. I got quite a few sympathy cards from customers. And customers that I don't even know.
How lovely.
On the website. So that was lovely. Jen from Tasmania, thank you very much. And, I'll put that up tomorrow and I'll get back into the swing of things now everything's over and put some more things on the blog. I've got so many pictures to put up there. Yeah. They'll probably think they're being inundated with all this stuff, but and I'd like to thank the three girls that are my design team, because Hayley sort of took over the Facebook page the last 2 days. Nick for our very short chats that we have that sometimes go for 3 hours. And then Marie, and they'll each be getting a box of goodies next week. So I'm sure they'll be happy about that.
Excellent. And I can't wait to see what they make with them all.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Michelle.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, bye. Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed that chat with Michelle from Snazzi Scrapping. And like we said, didn't we cover a range of topics from Australiana right through to farm equipment and those cars, and just really something for everyone, because we know that sometimes that can be a struggle, especially if we've got something in our minds that we really know that we want to find, and it can be really hard. So definitely pop over to the Snazzi Scrapping website and have a look. And like we said, this replay will be over at the From Picture to Page website, and we'll have all the links to the new car stamps and dies, the light kits and the paper packs as well. So thank you so much for joining us all today. And like we said, and welcome to all the Snazzi Scrapping family who haven't been to From Picture to Page before. But like we said, there's a whole heap of other videos that you can go back and watch. So head over to our website, from picturetopageandbeyond.com.au. Whether you're watching the replay or you're here live, thank you all for your comments. It's fantastic to know that you're all there supporting us as well, and continue to support a whole heap of really small Australian businesses. We really do appreciate that. So this is Michelle Brown signing off. We hope you have a crafty day.